You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Welcome, gentle viewers. This is Slay the Spire, and in the last episode we met like a innocent version that the smitten voice of the smitten was in love with, and we ended up burning with her. We killed her, and then she turned into a ghost, and she burned us up, and it burned us up, and we got an ending out of it. It was a whole big thing. But we're gonna keep playing. A lot of these dialogue we've chosen before, and I don't know if we get different options if we've progressed through the game. Like, I don't remember if I said, do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay.
Actually, I can quickly see what I've asked about.
I'm talking
by pressing tab. What happens if I press tab while at this menu? Nothing. Okay. But how can a princess be locked away in a basement and the world?
Look,
I'm gonna see what I've already said.
While I does it? Oh, if are you serious? Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Nope. Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
I feel like he's lying.
Don't mention it. It's all...
Alright, so nothing new. So last episode I tried to rescue her and it ended up being killed by her, and then the second time I killed her, and then the third cycle or whatever, she was a ghost, and that's when we finished and delivered the vessel to the entity. But I want to maybe try to just rescue her completely. So let's take the blade.
You take the blade.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Okay, she's not innocent this time around.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
That's kind of seems like the first time. I want to say, what? No way. Why would you even think that?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
I was going to use the knife to rescue her. Okay, so this feels like the first playthrough.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to...
Yeah, we can do this. Last time I think I did drop it. I don't quite remember. I want to try to just follow her lead.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
I'm getting you out of here.
Oh, you have to be kidding. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'll be here.
Let's check upstairs if the
You
door...
attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Just like last time.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Okay. The first time we tried to kill her, she just like fucked us up. She's like a better fighter. She was ready for us. Is this maybe a good time to try to kill her when she's unsuspecting? I don't know. I really want to try to rescue her. Let's try to... let's save her.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Okay, this is a good point to try to kill her.
This isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Wait. Now we can't choose slay the princess. Only warn her. Weird.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Kind of feels like we're gonna just end up at the same conclusion as last episode at the start.
Blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
This version of the princess knows how to use the knife at least.
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
The prisoner. Chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her. If you don't,
Okay, no.
don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a
Skeptic.
word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Alright, maybe I should try to rescue her.
Before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do it. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Who says wink?
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like
Interesting.
a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge.
The chapter is called Prisoner.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, I've approached the mirror every single time. Have I? Maybe not. I don't remember. I'm wondering if I should just ignore the mirror. And if that has an effect.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
Now the mirror just disappeared.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the
Whoa.
stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier.
True.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
I have noticed that and commented on it before.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you were told to sit? Sure.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
What happened after I died last time?
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, I'll fill you in. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them.
Interesting.
And now you're back.
Why couldn't she leave?
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how. First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. As much as I would like to remain in denial, It's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
Interesting.
A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Have I never been able to kill the princess in my first attempt? I guess not.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright. Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much.
I want to know everything.
Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't. Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
That other chain on the wall, who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
I want to inspect the shackle.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. And why is that? Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is? And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it? I don't know. Maybe it will. He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
I kind of agree.
But what if he's telling the truth? He isn't. I am.
Inspect the shackle.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
Uh-oh.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad. Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time. Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me?
Curse my curiosity.
Yes? Are we stuck here now? Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
That's funny.
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve. That's horrible. It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information. Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch. No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Right. Did you know this was going to happen to me?
No.
So we're both stuck here.
Yep.
Not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
That's rude.
What should we do?
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing. But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
Why isn't the world safe if she's stuck?
But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How so?
How exactly does that work? It just does. But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same. If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
We're seeing any...
Correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there. But then they get larger and larger.
Continue to wait in silence.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
Cool.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode. She hasn't starved. I guess she hasn't. Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... I think he's gone.
What?
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Whoa. Interesting. This is just... So I think most of the time we've finished the game, all 3 times, we've died twice and delivered the vessel or whatever, the perspective, in the 3rd life. But this is just our 2nd life. But you do not get the chance to respawn, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
It's also interesting because we didn't kill each other in the 2nd life, and we were basically both unharmed. And she's just taken away even though she's still alive. It's going to be okay, just trust me. We've been here before and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Maybe I should be honest. It's the end for you, but not for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. No, that can't be right. There has to be something more.
Oh, I feel kind of bad. You approach the mirror. You've unraveled. Interesting. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Me too. Do you think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think we are real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
It's a brain teaser if I ever heard one. Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world move around her than move it herself. She will make for a patient heart.
Yeah, that's the vibe I was getting as well.
Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be.
You know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Fair. When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does, but I don't know why. But I know this for a fact.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be
Oh.
enough. And then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
Only one more ending. Weird. If this is the last stage before your completion, then I'm not going back. I'm just gonna stay here forever if I have to.
You have already chosen to walk along this path, and we both know you will see it to completion. But if you need more time, then I will wait with you.
Wait forever? There is no waiting forever. What does it mean to destroy my body? I kind of don't want to risk either one of these options. I don't know what will happen. I think I'm just ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
That's exciting.
I will be here, waiting for you.
Every time. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Alright. This is a short episode. I hope that's alright, but these starts and endings are too well defined for me to want to stop in the middle of whatever playthrough or run through. Is this like a roguelite? Oh, this was cool. I kind of liked this version of the princess. She was so patient and calm, and we just kind of hung out with her for seemingly an endless amount of time. at least until the dungeon around us decayed and fell apart, exposing us to the world. But with that, it's the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye bye!